Welcome to Greg Hansen's Video Notebook, brought to you by Albertsons. I'm Star Sports Editor Ryan Finley here with Greg Hansen. Greg, after 3 months of speculation, boredom, no minor league baseball, a month of fall camp, all of this stuff, Arizona finally opened its football season Friday night against UNLV, and I was floored by the play of their quarterback, Anu Solomon. What did you see out of him, and where did his performance rank in terms of not just best starts by a freshman, but best starts ever?
You don't want me to bore you with what I looked up.
I do.
But
bore, please.
I mean, just think of it. No one has an opening game like that.
Nobody.
Nobody here.
Nobody here. Yeah.
Maybe some guy from Florida or somewhere, but nobody here.
Yeah, it's funny when you look at him. His numbers surpassed Willie Tuitama's, but Tuitama kind of comes with an asterisk, if you ask me. Tuitama, remember, entered I believe it was the UCLA game the week before, like on the second or third drive, and led them to that big win. His first start came a week later at Oregon State. By then, he was already sort of in football terms, baptized into the game. Solomon, hadn't taken a college snap at all before Friday. That's impressive to me.
He is, to me, the most interesting man in the world / college football division, because I'm not around him as much as Daniel Burke is.
Well, who is?
But every time I see him, and I see him talking publicly, he's Jimmy Buffett. He's so laid back. I think, is this a joke? Is he shot up with something? He is, if he is really that cool, he's the first guy I've ever seen like that in college football.
One of the things that really tickled me about Solomon's performance on Friday was after the game, he had asked somebody, I think it was somebody in the media, who won the Bishop Gorman football game that night. If your mind, with all the stuff that you've been through and the hits you've taken and the adrenaline that's coursing, if you just think, hey, how'd my old high school do tonight, and think to ask somebody, you must be a pretty unflappable dude.
Unflappable, boy. Isn't that a good word?
It is a good word.
That's him. Nick Foles was unflappable, I
No
thought.
question, yes.
And yesterday, Mickey Bacchus said he reminded him of Nick Foles in his demeanor.
He reminds me a lot of Nick Foles. Nick never got too rattled when stuff wasn't going his way. So, I think Anu's going to be just fine.
And if that's true, if he maintains that, he's going to be a better ball player because of it.
Absolutely. This is Greg Hansen's Video Notebook, brought to you by Albertsons. Ryan Finley here with Greg Hansen, talking about Arizona's win over UNLV. Greg, I'm torn. I watched the game, and then obviously I've watched the replays. And you look at it, you're inclined to think, well, UNLV must stink.
That's what I think.
But they had some players. Devontae Davis, their wide receiver, might have been
best player on the field.
Best player on the field. Their linemen had some decent size. They were able to move the ball a little bit. Was Friday night a matter of Arizona being really good or UNLV being really bad?
It caught me a little bit off guard because I thought UNLV would be better. But I thought in the chess match, Rich Rod just killed them. He matched up their receivers with their linebackers, and they couldn't cover them, obviously. They had Devontae Neal on an inside linebacker for a touchdown when it was only 17-6. So I was watching that in the binoculars and forgetting the rest of the game, and it was just amazing how often Rich Rod just outthought him.
Is that the biggest difference in your mind with Rich Rodriguez and his predecessor, whether it was Mike Stoops or Tim Kish or John Makovic or Mike Hankwitz? Is he just a better in-game coach than the rest of these guys, do you think?
I think he's a pro, and I thought Mike Stoops was a good defensive coordinator, and the whole program was okay. You covered them. Yeah. I think these guys are another level. I think they're the kind of, when Dick Tomey had Rich Ellerson and Larry McDuff and Dwayne Keenan, you cannot beat that staff.
Right.
I think this staff is on level with that.
Wow. Good stuff as always. Greg, this is Greg Hansen's Video Notebook, brought to you by Albertsons. Join Greg and I next time when we talk about UT San Antonio. Should Arizona be concerned? Greg, just blink once, or for yes, blink twice, or no?
I don't want to see it.
We'll talk about that on the next episode. For Greg Hansen, I'm Ryan Finley. We'll see you next time.
It's game time here at Albertsons, so listen up. It's our goal to help you score great deals. So pay attention to the game plan, because you could win Cardinal season tickets, the chance for your child to be a Cardinal kickoff kid, or $10,000 cash and other prizes. Here's what you do. Look for this tag, buy $10 worth or more. Grab your prize code at checkout and enter it at scoregreatdeals.com. Now let's play football. Get in the game for your chance to win.